Mhm. Good evening, my dear colleagues. Thank you for making time and joining our webinar ABCD on technology, organized by the DAP committee. Many of you must have big questions in your mind. What does ABCD this stands for? ABCD is basically A is AI, B for blockchain, C for cyber security, and D for data analytics. As you all know, for automated bookkeeping and data analysis to be predictive financial modeling, AI offers a multitude of opportunities for CAs to enhance their service and provide more value to their clients. Also, blockchain has the potential to enhance the accounting profession by reducing the cost of maintaining and reconciling ledgers and providing absolute certainty over the ownership and history of assets. See, like I already told, for cyber security, safeguarding financial information also requires data encryption, and data analytics equip CAs with the ability to analyze financial data. So, handle these four renowned topics for our CA community, CA profession. We have among ourselves our speakers, CA Naveen Agarwal, sir, and CA Mr. Pranay Chauhan to handle these topics. Our first speaker, CA Naveen Agarwal ji, will be handling the two topics, uh, artificial intelligence and blockchain. He qualified his chartered accountancy in the year of He qualified his chartered accountancy in the year of 2018, and he is a practicing chartered accountant, treasurer, and managing committee member of ICAI for the Bareilly branch. Also, he covers the major domains of stock market, equity and derivatives, virtual digital assets, crypto NFTs, advanced Excel, direct taxation, and indirect taxation. I request sir to take over and start his topic.
Thank you very much, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank the dignitaries of ICI and SAFA and the Digital Accounting and Assurance Board who have organized uh, in this winter such a warm topic of artificial intelligence and blockchain, as well as the cyber security of data, because these are the very hot topic. We all are chartered accountant. We all deal with the financial data, and every change in the technology affect our work. So as our president visit in Bareilly, the presidents are told us that this is the new ABCD: A for artificial intelligence, B for blockchain, C for cyber security, and D for data. So we are here to learn the ABCD, and I have prepared a presentation for that, and I have also tried to compile few AI tools which are useful for chartered accountants, which we can use ourselves in our professional life. So without getting any delay, I am sharing my screen. So the technical, please confirm that my screen is visible. Just a second. Is my PPT is visible to everyone? Yeah, is the slides are visible, ma'am?
No, not yet.
The screen.
Yeah, the screen is visible.
Okay. So the PPT of ABCD of technology, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. First of all, let us understand what is artificial intelligence. So you all are aware that artificial intelligence is nowadays affecting us in a very useful manner. We are getting notices from different revenue departments. So first of all, let us understand what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a new advancement of computer programming, where the computer program itself takes the decision and itself think like a human brain. And in simple words, we can say that possibility of computer programming like a human brain. Like we think, we decide, and we perform certain tasks. So in old times, we see that computer works based on our input. But now the computer programs are capable enough to take their own decision, to gather data on their own based on the target of the user. So in simple language, we can say that artificial language, the machine takes very minimum data or take data automatically and produce a desired output. That is called artificial intelligence. If we go into the history of AI, it is not a new term. The research was very old. In 1954, the Alan Turing was the first person who start the research of AI, and he called it a machine intelligence. And after that, this research came over, and meanwhile there was a time when people stopped thinking about AI. They thought that it is impossible to program and make any machine language which can decide like human brain. So in meanwhile, UK and other organizations have stopped funding this AI research, but it again started in 2012. And after 2017, Web 2.0, another new technology was there. The AI developed, and 2019 was the golden year. After that, new AI tool like ChatGPT and Dropbox, Dash, Bard, their new chatbots. We are aware with the Siri and very virtual assistance programs. They are very helpful. We even use very voice commands in daily life. So after 2019 and after even 2022, when ChatGPT was launched, artificial intelligence became very popular. Many vehicles have started using artificial intelligence. So I'm just giving you a brief introduction. Then I will come to the topic which will relate to the professional life of CA and CMA also. So this is the normal program cycle. If we talk about any computer system, normally we put any input that is put by user, then the processing is done by the CPU, and then we got the output. So if in normally I ask to perform a simple task that I want to get a table of two, so I have to input the all two denomination in my spreadsheet of Microsoft Excel. Then after getting the formula, I will get the desired result. But if I talk about the AI processing cycle, I just need to tell that give me a table of two, and it will directly give me the result of table of two. So without putting any input data, I will get the direct output as per my desire. So that is the difference between artificial intelligence and the normal programming uh, we were aware of in old times. So we have a two type of artificial intelligence. What is the narrow or weak AI, where the program is designed to perform a specific task. Like we have a very common features in iPhone, Siri, Alexa we use. So these are all voice recognition softwares. They recognize our voice and give us the desired results. So they are programmed for to perform a specific result. And when any program is designed to do any specific task, that is called narrow AI softwares or narrow AI programs. But when a AI is designed to perform any task like robots, like we are going to see in near future, we will get some kind of devices who can not only recognize our voice, they can also perform some tasks. They can also take our grocery directly from the stores. So this will cover in the general AI. That means advanced robotics or advanced. We will see in the defense sector where the advanced robots in army or also other sector we can see. So that will cover in the general AI. So let's talk about the recent development. What are the recent news we are looking up? Just I think day before yesterday, I got the statement that Christina Georgieva, the IMF managing director, she told that 40% of the jobs are going to reduce with the use of AI. So it is as a boon and as well as a very threat to job seekers, that artificial intelligence is going to reduce the task of creators and many other employees. Like we make the project reports, we write a thesis. This all are possible through artificial intelligence. And after just in 2022, as I told before, the ChatGPT was launched. So ChatGPT, the full form is Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is actually a chatbot where you can talk like a human being. You can ask question. You can ask him to describe any video. You can ask him to summarize any document. So this chatbot was developed in November 30 on a trial basis, but this was a major hit, and even within a couple of months it crossed 100 million users, and its valuation is crossed around $29 billion. So this was a big success where all the competitor chatbot like Bard or all other chatbots which was about to launch in meanwhile, they all got popularity, and everyone got the attention of artificial intelligence. Even our income tax website, our GST website, they all, or programming language, their background database from SQL to now PHP to different advanced language, we are seeing that JSON files are uploading. So this is all because of that. Even revenue departments are adopting artificial intelligence so that they can analyze the taxpayers data. So popular AI tools, if I talk about, they are like virtual personal assistants, like we see Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant, or Cortana. They are different virtual assistant where you can just speak something. You can ask them to type something. They can type. You can even ask to search them any song, to tell any joke, or to get any desired result. You can just need to speak, and they will search and they will find it. There are chatbots like ChatGPT. There are Bard. There are chatbots where you can ask question. You can summarize any video. There are recommendation system like Netflix, Amazon. They based on your habits. They identify that what kind of content you want to watch, and there are image and video analysis tool like Adobe Firefly, where you can we can search through image. There are Google Images and Google Images AI are there. There are speech recognition system which are based through artificial intelligence. Their language translation system, by using that you can automatically, without using any translator, if you are that speaker listen the voice, automatically translate, and you can, even if you are visiting to any foreign country, these kind of language translation services are very useful. There are autonomous vehicle like we see in Tesla. There are vehicle, they are having facility of ADAS. They automatically detect the lane on the road. They automatically detect the vehicle. They automatically reduce the speed or increase the speed according to the traffic. So there are all advanced vehicles which are using artificial intelligence, as well as there are fraud detection system. So in fraud detection system, there are some algorithm used. That algorithm helps the user to find any bugs in the system. Like you all know that we are using e-commerce website daily. So there are many different kind of fraud detection tools also. So if I talk about our profession, you can use the Adobe Firefly to generate any kind of graphic. If you allow me, I can also give you a little demo. You just type any string. If I just giving you an example of Adobe Firefly. If you type any something in text, and they will generate an image for this, like something. If you want me and generate any graphic, you type image of a person speaking loudly. So they will generate any image, and even if you can ask then what kind of outfit it can have, or you can have the habits, you can have any description of image, and will automatically design a customized, yeah, these are images. It is generating in the graphical image. You just type any kind of description, any image of a dog smiling. So these are the kind of searches suggestion they are doing, walking on the beach. So any kind of graphic, like if you are generate any logo for your company, if you want to generate any presentation image, you want to generate any data image, so this is all possible through Adobe Firefly. There are other kind of software also. So this is all, this is all customized images. These are not uh, any downloaded images. These are all designed images from the artificial intelligence. Then the other one is the chat GPT. I think many of you are aware, but still I am giving you another demo. The what are kind of a chat bot. So if you go to chat GPT, it was launched by this the company OpenAI which launched it. So you can try the chat GPT. Here you can ask any question like what is the chances of getting the weather, getting the even you can ask him the uh, getting the weather, and they will tell you like the typing thing. They will tell you anything. What are the weather website? How can you get the weather? This is the sources they will typing, and they are getting data from all the websites, but they are collecting it in very fast manner. And even you can ask to summarize any video, and you can paste any link of any video, and they will summarize it for you. And if you will provide a link, they will talk like a human being. So this is the example of chat gpt. And even the add-ons AI, if I talk about, this is the add-ons which I am using. This the chat gpt powerpoint. So this is the chat gpt powerpoint. Here you can use the chat gpt for making any presentation. You just give a presentation topic and then click on the create slide. It will make you any presentation on that particular topics. There are certain google add-ons also which you can use, and you can get it any kind of task that can be performed, like you can produce any kind of comparison between two balance sheets, very uh, statistical data of any company. So you can also generate through google add-ons, microsoft add-ons that are programmed through artificial intelligence. That there is a AI tool called Dropbox Dash. This is Dash was launched by Dropbox, Google Dropbox. You all are aware. So Dropbox have made a feature that you can manage the database of any company of or your for your own office through Dropbox Dash, and you can organize the files using this. And there are some accounting ERPs. We are seeing the changes. If you have seen the Zoho or QuickBooks, there are the advanced software where you can just import your bank statement. They will read the transaction type you are doing day to day, and they will summarize the transaction. They will record the transaction in journal entries automatically. They will identify like their narration of salary. There are you can give them some hint and what kind of transactions are getting, and they will automatically understand the algorithm. And next time when you will update your bank statement, even there is a system you can provide them your net banking id password, but that is confidential. Obviously you should uh, think about the reliance of that particular vendor to whom you are providing. But there are features in ERPs where you can also where the ERP itself can take the bank statement from your bank account through your net banking ID password or your transaction passwords, and they automatically records the major entries are done by artificial intelligence. So if I talk about the use of AI for professional, so we can, if I talk about as a chartered accountant, where I can use, so I can use in drafting of any legal documents or any project report. We regularly make any project reports, annual reports, search reports. So we can make that using the chatbots. We can use the AI tools, audit tools. So in bookkeeping, like I have already told you that uh, importing of bank statements and getting the automatic entries through accounting ERP. So we can also use in bookkeeping. Audit and assurance tool also, we using the fraud detection system. We can get the simulation of transaction through the AI tools, and we can use in our provide getting the audit evidence. And through Dropbox Dash or other software, we can manage the client database and our office database. We can easily find any data which we want. So search is as in the MS Office or Mac OS. The AI searches are quicker than this normal operating systems.
Audible or not visible? Naveen sir?
I think the video. Okay, okay. I'm continuing. So, due to some technical issue, I am again sharing the screen.
Naveen sir, you can continue. I'll have a word with him.
Okay. So I was at the use of AI for professional. So I was discussing that we can draft the project report as well as the search report. Then we can manage the client database. And next is that we can make presentations. So like I have demonstrated that we have a chatbot add-ons. There are many add-ons which is launched by Microsoft Office. So you can use that for making presentation. You can use chatbot like Chat GPTs or Bard. They are providing you any data which you can use for making content for your presentation. You can make branding material from these graphics generators, and even these AI tools are coming in mobiles app in form of mobile app. So graphics are generated through that also, and you can also forecast data. There are AI tools uh, which can be used for forecasting, like the weather condition or the profit or your sales or your consumer behavior. These all can be analyzed by the AI tools, and there are cost sheet templates you can make, and even the cost sheets are able to make any decision like this kind of product should be continue or not, or this is the high selling product. And you can prepare any statistical data. You can just type that I need the sales of, I need the particular crop production or raw material availability of particular area, so you can get the statistical data also. You can do any research tasks. So this is the major task which we can do as a professional. That is major tool are, accounting and assurance. So these are the two traditional services of chartered accountants, and the cost sheets are the or for CMAs, so they can use it. And these are also some threats which we regularly getting in the newspaper, that AI will going to uh, there will be the loss of jobs for many employees who are doing the task. But I think I am not completely agree with this threat, because there will be a new jobs opportunity, like the person who are aware with the AI and who are new learner of AI will definitely get the job. So the problem is that you have to update yourself. So these are the threats. Their second threat is the copyright issue. because sometimes the chatbots are not accurate, they are not actually generating, they are mixing with two images and then generate a new image, or maybe they are copying some content. They sometimes some chatbots provide the resource, like there's Google AI, which provide the resource also, or preflex. There are some kind of tool which give you the result, and as well as they will provide you this, that this result is taken from this website. But sometimes some chatbot does not inform you, so there may be a copyright issue that you are using that content. So you have to be aware, you have to avoid to create any data which where the copyright obligation can be there. So there can be a cyber frauds because artificial voice, artificial avatar, artificial images can be done. So people are also scared that maybe there can be more online fraud, more cyber frauds, and the loss of human creativity because many creatives are facing the challenges that now when there may be thesis writer, there may be some profile writer, so their jobs or their creativity will be demoralized because of artificial intelligence, because when the machine will make the content, so it will a bit disappointment to them. But that is from the artificial intelligence side. I'm starting the another topic, that is blockchain. And at the end of this my session, if anyone have any query, so you can write in the below box, and then in end of my session I will take the queries. Then again, this the new emerging technology of blockchain technology. So if I talk about the blockchain, actually a method where data can be stored in block form, and every block is having the information of the previous block. When if I talk about in professional term, we read the word audit trail. So like in audit trail, we have a trail of transaction that A send a money to B and then B send the money to C. So in blockchain, actually, there is a digital record of that data, that A transferred to B and then B transferred to C, but it remains in encryption format. And then that block again when transferred, it contains some information of previous transaction, and then when it generate another transaction, it again contain the previous transaction traces. This is a blockchain technology. This normally was invented to avoid any third party check, and to make any direct data transfer, to make any direct digital transfers. So the main, as I told you, that a major objective was decentralization, because blockchain technology does not depend on any controller. It means a direct transfer from one user to another user of any data. That can be financial data. Later on we will discuss the cryptocurrency, because the blockchain technology was majorly used, majorly got popularity after it was being used in Bitcoin. So blockchains and blockchain can be used in public, we can call it public blockchain when we use it for a large scale, like the cryptocurrency was used. And maybe you can use in your own organization, you can transfer the encrypted data through private blockchain. And there was always an algorithm which is used to make the hash code, like every block connect with the second code and generate a hash code, and that hash code got different when it is transferred to another block. So the hash code generators are having a different algorithm that is called mining. So when we talk about the cryptocurrency mining, that was also the same mechanism, that a currency based on any algorithm was launched. So different cryptocurrency was launched on different algorithm, but they all use the same method. The method is blockchain. The blockchain technology is very technical term. It's not really easy to understand as a financial professional, but it is getting majorly used in the financial industry. Like we are seeing that cryptocurrency. It can be also used in supply chain management and in healthcare also. and we can make the smart contracts through blockchain, where the major purpose of blockchain was that tampering cannot be done, because this is very advanced technology. Tampering can be easily identified, because if you give any data through blockchain model, and if you tamper it, the next block will also got tampered, so it is easily detectable. So any transfers through blockchain are easily identified. And one of the challenges is scalability, because blockchain is a very not speedy technology, I would say, because making a blocks encryption and then transfer of data got very cumbersome, because the data got transformed from block 1 to block 2 down to block 3. So the data speed and data transfer speed got slower, uh, and it can be used in a very limited area. However, if I talk about a normal, like if in banking system, if we normally use the clearing system, you are saying that if you deposit a check and that check goes to another bank, they use it, they share the scan copy, then they transfer the money to your bank account. But in blockchain, if they will use, it will take 2 hours to get the transfer, and the transaction will got automatic verification, because the block, like from SBI to PNB, you want to transfer some funds. So SBI central bank, the central branch can easily identify that yes, this much of money was transferred from Mr. A to Mr. B, and transaction can be done without any human intervention. So but this is very typical thing, because as everyone know that blockchain or cryptocurrency does not allow any third party to intervene, and we have a regulatory bodies like RBI are there. So blockchain in financial sector or in banking sector is very typical to implement. So there are very regulatory compliance challenges and security concerns also in implementation of blockchain. If I talk about future, so blockchain can be integrated with AI, and this kind of challenges which can not humanly traceable can be done through AI, and we maybe in future we can see that checks are cleared automatically without any human intervention like presently done. And there may be more uh, privacy features, because in blockchain you cannot identify the whom transfer. However, our government have banned the cryptocurrency, because sometimes it is very important for any government to know that these kind of transfers are being done, or which entity is transferring how much funds. So or maybe the data transfer, because for the interception, because sometimes for security concern government have to intercept the financial data or any normal data. So maybe in future we will see, after getting this challenges being handled uh, by new technology, and blockchain maybe emerge into new business models, where we can see more like of online, we are seeing the online services. So maybe in blockchain we can see the online, any food delivery or any kind of aggregator services directly from person to another person. Like currently, we are suppose we are ordering any food and we need aggregator. We are taking any taxi service. We need an aggregator startup model. So blockchain connect a user to supplier directly without any third party. So maybe a new business model will come, where maybe there will be applications, but user will directly connect to their supplier without any intervention, without any third party. That is the main purpose of blockchain. And if I talk about blockchain and cryptocurrency, so there was Ethereum and Bitcoin. They was basically based on blockchain technology, and they have tried to cover a little share in the financial chain. However, the blockchain was the cryptocurrency was majorly used in trading and in getting money through its increasing trend. So the original essence of being used in as a financial instrument was not successful, not majorly successful in every country where the government was strong. So many country banned the cryptocurrency, many country adopted it. Some countries are still allowing, but later on it is a very new technology, and without central regulator, any transaction in cryptocurrency is always threatening. So maybe in future, when we will be required more volume of currency or in free international trade, then we may see that country will start promoting cryptocurrency again. So that was all from my side about blockchain and artificial intelligence. Uh, Now coming back
Thank,
to ma'am, if, if there are
thank you
any
so much, sir.
queries, uh, welcome ma'am. If there are any queries, so ma'am can inform me.
Yeah, just a second, sir. No, sir, there are no such queries.
Okay.
And it was a great session to learn about AI and blockchain. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a very short time to cover such kind of big topic. It was
Yeah,
the whole day is enough, not enough for covering such kind of great topic. And this is very practical topic. So maybe we will later on cover some kind of workshop on this, so that
yeah,
user can
definitely.
understand about the topic.
Surely. I'll
So
forward your feedback.
thank you, and
Thank you. Now I would like to now I would like to welcome my second speaker for the session, Mr. Pranay Chauhan. Is he there? Yeah. He's an IT professional with 12 years of expertise in academics, corporate training, and in research development. At present, he is working as a corporate trainer, consultant, visiting faculty, and chief technology officer. He finished his Masters of Engineering with distinction in Information Technology with specialization in Information Security and from IIT Indore. Earlier did his engineering information technology. He is also a certified network security associate, a certified CNSS from UK, certified Amazon Web Security Service Security. And I will now he will be covering the topics of cybersecurity and data analytics. I would request Pranay sir to take over.
So yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Naveen sir. I even learned a lot of things about AI
thank
tools also. So it was a nice session. So yeah. So good evening, one and all, and thank you for doing this session. I hope you all are doing well and keeping yourself safe and healthy. So just let me share my screen. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. So basically, today we are going to cover mainly about the importance of cybersecurity in businesses because the main thing is what that as sir told that we are in this IT era or we can say tech era. It's an era of data where the data is new oil. You can say the data is a new commodity. Data is new gold, and we are moving the new era of fintech. Because as a financial profession, I will say that now there is no finance. In future, we can say it's all about fintech, financial technology. Because the emerging trends, we can say, of all the accounting professions, you can say in future they'll just convert into the form of technology itself. So here, basically, the cyber security is going to play important role because the majorly, I will say, the majorly all the businesses they rely on the tech based ecosystem. So it is very important to protect this kind of business ecosystem. and I will try to cover all the aspects that what a professional can do and what how you can maintain this kind of ecosystem into your businesses, or you can just support, or you can just guide, consultant also to your clients about this kind of mechanism. So before moving further, first of all, let me go for disclaimer that this document is only for educational, only for awareness, and only for research work. So neither the author of this material, means me, nor anyone else in any way is liable for your actions. Why? Because for next few minutes, I'm going to discuss mainly about the cyber threats. I'm going to take the name of multiple agencies, government agencies, and we can say multiple types of government departments. So nobody is liable for your actions. And I have taken the content from various research paper, from various reports from we can say CRT, reports from CBI, report from FAC, multiple we can say kind of government departments, and also from multiple we can say type of websites and blogs. So all the content shown here are just compulsion research work which has been done by authors and the organization. So basically my agenda basically it's you can say it's of need of topic first. So I will cover basically about the need of topic, that why should we go for this topic, why we need this topic. Then I will show about some kind of simulations about the need of topic. Then we will jump into the part of cybersecurity threats, that what are the major threats and how these threats are disturbing the business ecosystem. Then I will try to demonstrate some kind of practical simulations also for these threats. And at last, I want to cover about the pillars for this cybersecurity implementations. Means how we can say a professional, how we can say a CA professional, how they can adopt this particular technology and how they can use this technology into their daily practices. So not only for your offices, not for you can say for your you can say for your personal usage, you can also use the same steps, same pillars also for your consultation work. So now let me start with the need of topic first. That why should we go for this topic? So please check this wagon wheel. A wagon wheel of internet per 60 seconds, or I will say the wagon wheel of internet per minute. That what happened in the internet in just a 60 second. So you can see there more than 18 million SMS are being sent globally in just a minute. On YouTube, more than 4.3 million videos are being viewed. We can say on App Store, on Play Store, so many apps are being downloaded. And nowadays you can say the all the banking system, and we can say all this kind of finance system, they are also moving on this app based model. Means the model based on the applications. Nowadays nobody rely on the machines, laptop and desktop. They mainly prefer the applications. So the system is changing very rapidly. And in fact also on the Instagram reels. Now you can just see around you. There are so many we can say the kind of professionals are there, students are there, and they are busy making reels, short reels. So they are scrolling on the Instagram. Then comes the Twitter. Now the name of Twitter is X. So then comes the X. Then on Snapchat, on Netflix, on Google, on Facebook. Means you can say the lots of things are just happening in just a minute. And these states are from December 2022. And from last you can say 1.5 years. But you can see how the things are increasing day by day. We can say the role of technology is increasing day by day, or we can say in short that our dependency on the internet is also increasing day by day. Just we can say just wait for few seconds and just realize that, let's say if suppose internet is not there for 2 days. Now think about your life. Today also we do have this session on the Zoom platform. It's only because of the internet. It's only because of the technologies. Some of you are joining from, we can say from South India, some of you from North India, from West, across the world. So with the help of technology, what we are doing, we are having kind of a communication to each other. So we can say our dependency on internet is increasing day by day or minute by minute. Means we can't do a, we can say kind of task, our daily practices, our daily works without the internet. So as the role is increasing, the frauds, the crime is also increasing. There are multiple types of fraud and scams are there: phishing, wishing, data breach, social engineering. Multiple types of, we can say, crimes and frauds are there. And in fact, because of this, you can say the AI technology, nowadays we do have this deep fake. As sir told him also in previous session about the threats, or we can say the challenges for the AI. So basically, the deepfake is the emerging threat for the AI. So there are multiple types of scams and frauds are also there in this ecosystem. And just refer, we can say, any leading newspaper. You will mainly find the multiple news regarding scams and fraud. And now this, you can say, this kind of threats are also disturbing the business ecosystem. Because today I'm here to talk mainly about the importance of the cybersecurity in the businesses. So we'll cover more about the business aspects. So now this kind of threats and we can say this kind of attacks are also disturbing the business's ecosystem. There are so many, you can say, types of malicious codes are there, like ransomware, which can stop the business working model. They can stop your supply chain. They can stop your model. They can stop your machine. They can hijack your machines. So many threats are there, and these threats are now disturbing the business's ecosystem. Now, check some few facts and states. You will find that a cyber attack happen in just every 10 seconds. Although there are multiple tools are there through which it can also be analyzed, but still you can see there that a cyber attack is happening in every 39 second. And since after COVID, it has been increased up to 300%. Sir and ma'am, trust me, as per the reports by also by FBI and other agencies, now the cybercrime has been increased more than 300%. And majorly what they are doing, they are mainly targeting the small businesses. 43% of cyber attacks are targeting the small businesses. And out of these businesses, you can say 95% of data breach records are mainly coming from these three industries. The first one is the financial industries. हम कहते हैं जहां पर पैसा है रोकड़ा है वहां ज्यादा होता है. So the first industry is all about the finance industry. So they are targeting the financial services because they are getting money, they are getting multiple assets. So that's why they are targeting mainly the financial services. Then comes the service or consulting businesses. Means nowadays the criminals are also targeting the professionals. They're also targeting the consulting businesses and the service industry. And then it's all about the healthcare sector. Although you can say these states, these charts, they used to change for, you can say, kind of quarter to quarter. So basically they're targeting the finance industry, then the consulting businesses, and then the healthcare industry. So now let me just ask you one question. Can we say that a crime is a business? Can we say is hacking a business? Or can we say that committing a fraud is a business? So yes, sir and ma'am, committing a crime is a big business. Committing a fraud is a big business. There are so many websites are available where you can just pay a few amount of money, few bucks to the criminal, and they can do whatever you want. Means you can also rent a hacker. Trust me, there are so many forums are there where you can just pay a few amounts of cryptocurrencies. That sir told in last video, that last session also, that about the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero. So just pay, we can say, a few kind of cryptocurrencies, and then you can also rent a hacker. Sir and ma'am, trust me, nowadays renting a hacker is also a big business. And in fact, in India also, nowadays the companies, the corporates are doing the same kind of, we can say, the task. They used to just hire a hacker, and then they hack this type of hackers. They can do whatever you want. Now just check this menu card. It's a hacker menu card. Although it's an old one, it's not a new one. But just check this hacker menu card. You can just hire a hacker and pay around 0.43 Bitcoin, and then they can hack any kind of web server. Just pay 0.43 Bitcoin, and then you can just hire a hacker, and then they can hack a web server. In fact, just pay a few Bitcoin, and then they can also set a kind of keylogger. Now this keylogger, it's a kind of a software which can record all your keystrokes. Means whatever you are typing on your keyboard now, it can record all your keystrokes. It can record all your chats. It can record all your, we can say, types of passwords which you're typing on your, we can say, keyboard. That's why we say in cyber industry na, that always do maintain multi-factor authentications. Why? Because this kind of keyloggers are there, and these keyloggers, they can record all your keystrokes. So sir and ma'am, Whenever you are doing a banking transactions, whenever you are doing any kind of transactions, so please be remember, please use virtual keyboard. The virtual keyboards are usually given by all the major entities. You can refer this virtual keyboard also in your Windows machine. Just use this virtual keyboard to avoid this kind of keylogging services. Otherwise, someone can also record your keystrokes. And then do maintain this multi-factor authentications, means getting a OTP on your mobile phones or getting an email for doing it before any transactions. So you can see there, just pay a few bucks and then hacker can track your smartphone, they can track your location, and they can also, we can say, damage your system, they can also damage your machines. That's why we say that always do maintain a backup policy into your organizations. Now I will cover more about this policies and this kind of tactics also in upcoming slides. But please make sure that hackers are doing the same thing. You can just see this menu card, and then nowadays the hacking is a big business. Committing a crime is also a big business. Committing a fraud is also a big business. Trust me. In fact, now the hackers are also damaging your accounts on social media. They can also damage your profile on social media. Just pay a few kind of bitcoins, or you can also do go for USD or any other cryptocurrency, and then they can do whatever you want. For doing a small task, you can just hire a hacker. They will give a small task for you. You can also get the balance sheets, balance files, any kind of credentials from the remote machines. Means this hacker is sitting somewhere in Russia or somewhere cross-border country, and now just you can pay the few kind of bucks, and then they can hack any machines and they can do whatever they want. So committing a crime is a big business. Committing a fraud is a big business. So now, what can be the major sources for the cyber threats? Now, if we talk about the sources, basically, multiple cyber threats are there. Mostly we can say some kind of fraudster, they are from the nation states. Means criminals, those who are committing crime for the behalf of nations. Some, we can say, types of APD groups are there, and we can say they are the highly malicious groups. So they can damage any country, they can damage any repo of any company, or we can say they can damage any kind of corporate rules and all these things. And some are also, we can say they are kind of terrorist groups are also there. So many, we can say, groups are there, and they are being operating from the, we can say, cross border countries, especially the countries those who are having not a good kind of connection with India. So multiple groups are also there, and then they are targeting our IT ecosystem also in India. In fact, we can say the most important one for a business is the malicious insiders. Now you will think that, sir, why you have put this particular image on your screen? Can you see the third image there? From Ramayana? Vibhishan. Because, sir and ma'am, as per my knowledge, as per my learnings, as per my research, I have seen that the major threat for any corporate is all about the insider. हम कहते हैं हिंदी में, घर का भेदी लंका ढाए. Vibhishan, insiders. That's why nowadays we can say there are so many companies. In fact, a big company also from the chemical industry, and that company was listed also the share market, and it mainly lies among the top 10 companies in the market. And you will not believe that that particular company had suffered a kind of issue from the malicious insiders, insider threat. कोई खतरा हमें बाहर से बहुत बाद में होगा, पहले खतरा हमारी कंपनी के अंदर ही है, हमें खतरा हमारे ही लोगों से है. So the insiders, we can say, they are the major threat for, we can say, any businesses. Once again, a disclaimer here, because this is as per my learning, as per my research, what I have seen in the previous fraud. So basically what I have seen, that the majorly the insiders are the biggest concern for any industries. Then comes this malware, ransomware, and all these things. The major concern is the insider, because such insiders, they can unveil your data, they can unveil your information, they can share all the confidential data, all the secret data, all your data from your corporates. So the insider threats are the biggest threat for any companies, for any corporations. We can say now moving on the threats, the major threat is all about the data breach. Because of this data breach, the company can suffer a big loss. Now, what is this data breach? We can say in short that the leakage of data means your data has been leaked into the forums, or we can say your data has been breached, your data has been leaked, and this particular leakage can cause a big impact on the company. It can also damage the company reputation. It can also damage the company financial, we can say, aspects also. So this, we can say, the data breach are the biggest, we can say, the concerns for the any businesses, and it can create a big impact on any business. Now let me give you a demo also for this one. So Saran ma'am, basically there are multiple tools for this kind of data breach simulations, but I will suggest you to open this monitor.mozilla.org. Now what you can do, you can just open this website. The name of tool is known as Firefox Monitor. Firefox, we can say, is a good browser. It's also a community. So basically what they are doing the research on this kind of data breach simulations. They have to collect all this data from the multiple sources, multiple forums, and then they have to demonstrate this kind of work. So please open this domain. If you're doing a practical simulation, please open this website and then write your company name there. So let me go for search for any company. I have taken this kind of sample for this company, this my site. So I'll search for it. So now just write the email ID there and then search for it. It was a company, you can say, email. So now can you see there that more than 13 data breaches are there for this email ID? Means particular this email ID has been compromised on multiple 13 times. You can see that from this public business data, all we can say the date of birth, the email address, the job titles, we can say the phone number, the physical address, all things are compromised. And then from this Twitter, you can see that their handles on social media compromised. Then from Canva, you can see multiple types of, we can say, data breaches are there. So what you can do, you may use this Firefox Monitor for checking any kind of data breach record, also for your company. Similarly, there is also one good tool. I think you most of you know about this tool. This one is Have I Been. So it's also a very good tool to check about this kind of database simulation. So now let me give you a simple example. For example, let me say that if you want to search your email ID now, just write your ID there and then click on this one. So just search for it. So now it is going to give you about the results that your database has been compromised, your email ID is compromised in this major 3 breaches. So right now this is my case. So it might be possible that in your case you're getting more than that, or it might be possible you're getting good news, means no data compromise. So just open this website, have I been this point.com, and now write your email ID there and search for it. So if you're getting this red indicators, red background, that means your details are being compromised. Or if you're getting a good news, that means your ID is safe and is secure against this data breach simulation. So I'll just scroll down there. So you can see right now. Right now in my case, my particular email ID, it is in compromise from Canva. So in this Canva is a good tool for designing. So you can see my email address, my location, my name, passwords, username, all were compromised. Similarly, I'm also using this Nitro PDF. So in this data breach, my email address, my names, and my passwords were also compromised. Sir and ma'am, that's why we say na that please do maintain a policy also in your offices, policy known as password protection policy. Always change your passwords at a particular time duration. Always maintain a MFA into your passwords. That's why it is important for every company to maintain this policy known as password protection policy. Why? Because you can see there, all these major companies, what they are doing, they are collecting your data, but they are not following the proper guidelines for cybersecurity. That's why this kind of major data breaches are there. And now just check the third name, the Paytm Karo. You can see there in the Paytm, this breach was in August 2020, and in this data breach, my date of birth, my email address, my gender, my location, my income level, how much I earn, then my name, my phone number, and all my purchases. Means whatever I purchase from Paytm now, all this database are, you can say, is in compromise. Now think about it. They all are the, we can say, leader. They all are the, we can say, they are the, we can say, the leaders in the market. But still, you see the data breaches were occurred. Sir and ma'am, similarly, you will find that not about this three or four. There are so many, we can say, kind of companies are there which are from where the database has been leaked. So what you can do now, you can just click on this one, notify me. So just click on this notify me, the second tab, and now click that I am not a robot. Just select for this one and then just apply this operation. So now from today onwards, whatever ID you have given now, they're going to notify you for further data breach. Let's say today is 19th of January, and let's say my data got breached from any ABC company on 21st of January. So now basically this website, they are going to give me the report. They are going to give me your email on my this email ID that hey Mr. Pranay, your email ID has been compromised. Please change your password. Please update your password. So sir and ma'am, same apply also for the corporates, also for the businesses, because this data breach can create a big impact. Because you can see there now your phone number, your email addresses, your purchases, in fact we can say your locations, all these things has been compromised. So these are two main tools. First one is for Firefox Monitor. They will give you a result. They will give you alert. And second one is Have I Been. So you can just use this both of these tools for this kind of data breach kind of simulations. Clear? So now the cost of preventing a data breach is very less. You can see there. The cost of preventing a data breach is very less. Means usually what we say that why we need this cyber security, why we need to implement this kind of audits, why we need to learn this our DISA course. What is the importance of this DISA course? Huh? Because you can see there the cost of preventing a data breach is very less, but you can say for the cost of data breach which is already breach, it's very high, because this data can be misused by your computers also. Trust me. Nowadays we can say it's a very we can say the lots of we can say other corporate fights are also there. Corporate house are we can say having a fight with each other. So this data breach can create a big impact. The same data can also be misused by your competitor. And trust me, yeah, there are so many hackers, and these hackers are also selling your corporate data on the multiple forums. Trust me, I have seen many multiple cases where this kind of database are also being sold on the multiple forums. Your corporate data, your financial data, your company data, your client data, your client information, all these data are also being sold on the multiple forums. That's why we required this cyber security. The importance of security, it is what? So the cost of preventing a data breach is very less, but this we can say data breach can have a big impact on your company growth also. And because of this data breach, your data is also there in open market, and might be possible that the criminal, attacker, hacker, they can also have this data, because they can also purchase this data. So now let's assume that they have your data. We have seen this last two tools now, that Have I Been and this monitor. Now just go and search your that ID there, or your company ID, and if you found that your details are there, so now let's assume that they have your data. So what they can do means, what these criminals can do, what these attackers can do, what this fraudster can do, or what these hackers can do. So now, so let's think that if they have your data, what they can do, they can drop an email on behalf of your company. Means I can drop an email from behalf of your company that Mr. ABC client, we are having this kind of chat on the date. Please transfer me this amount of money for my next work. Sir and ma'am, they can drop a kind of email on behalf of your company, because they do have your passwords also. So if you are not having this multi-factor authentications, or if you don't have this policy for email security, it might be possible they can drop an email on behalf of your company. Second factor, they can also contact your clients and also to your employees, because from this data breach they also have your phone, also have the phone number in name of your clients. So what they can do, they can contact to your clients, they can contact to your employees that XYZ thing is required, transfer this money. And now it's very common. You can see so many news are there also in newspaper, that this kind of attacks are also there, frauds are also there. So they can also contact your clients and employees. They can gain trust. They can demand for payment. They can also create a social media page on behalf of your company, and then they can raise some kind of fund also. I'll give you example because today we are in this ABCD session now, and B is for blockchain. Sir and ma'am, a big crypto exchange known as Coin DCX. Last month only, December 3, FIR was launched against the Coin DCX. The Coin DCX is the big, I will say, a big exchange from India. So FIR was launched against the Coin DCX, that they have done some kind of this kind of misuse issue was there. After investigation, it was we can say domain words, and then they have created a new website, and then they started doing all this trading. So you can think about it. And then the person was treated, and then he has raised the complaint somewhere, I will say somewhere in North India. And then what was the issue? The FIR was launched against the main website, the main company, which was the coindc6.com. After investigation, it was found that they already reported this concern, this issue, and it was a fake website. It was a fake website similar to the coindcx. Sir and ma'am, that's why it is also required to perform this kind of social media assessment. So I will suggest, I will just because we are here just for learning purpose, and I am also a learner. So I will suggest you to please do maintain this kind of policies also in your organizations. Please do check, please do Google also your domains, whatever domains you are having, whatever company websites you are having. Please do a research on the Google. Just search for the similar websites which are having a similar name just like you, and just search for it, because it might be possible some persons, we can say the fraudsters, they can create a fake website just like your domain name, and then they can also do some concerns. So in short, they can do whatever they want, and because the data is new oil, the data, we can say the new gold, new assets, so they can do whatever they want with this data. Clear? So now the questions mainly come, sir, that we have seen that so many, we can say fraud, we have mainly seen that data breach and all these things are there. So now how these companies can maintain the cyber security? So as a professional now, what we can do now? Coming on the main point, what we can do as a professional? Clear? So for the same, just check this one. These are some global standards. Clear? So these are some global standards which can be maintained in any organizations. I will start with this PCI first. So let's say if your client, or we can say if your clients, they are from the finance background, and they are mainly dealing with this kind of a payment system, they are storing data, payment data, all these things. So you can go and check about this PCI DSS. The PCI DSS mainly stand for the payment card industry data standard. Just go on Google and write this PCI DSS 4.0, and then write the standard PDF. You will find a complete PDF file is there, which is free to download. Just check the standard there. So it's mainly for the, we can say, the payment entities. Second comes the HIPAA. So basically HIPAA is for the healthcare sector. So if you do have your client now from the healthcare sector, what you can do? You can search for this HIPAA guidelines. Now why we require this HIPAA? So remember in Delhi, I guess somewhere in November 2022, Delhi AIMS, a ransomware attack was there in Delhi AIMS somewhere in November, December 2022, I think, yeah, in 2022. So ransomware has hit, you can say, this Delhi AIMS servers, and then they had demanded around 200 crore rupees. So now the HIPAA, we can say that it's kind of standard which can be maintained in the healthcare system. Then comes this GDPR. So if you do have a client in the European countries, you can go for this GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations. Similarly, we have this CCPA for US. If you have a client in USA, you can go for CCPA. But I will suggest you the basic one is all about the because usually I prefer this ISO 27001. It's the best one, and it's very easy to implement also. So search for this ISO 27001. It's for ISMS. So what you can do, you can just check this ISO 27001, and you can also implement this standard in any businesses. You can implement the controls, you can say the policies which are there in this 001, and you can go for this one, ISO 27001. Clear? Similarly, in India, we do have this guidelines given by SEBI. So if your client, we can say they are from this industry, they can go for this SEBI guidelines, or if they are from insurance, they can go for this IIDI, or if they're from finance, they can go for RBI. So we can say in India also we do have this kind of guidelines given by the these entities. So SEBI guidelines are there. Just go and or Google and write about the SEBI guidelines. You can find the complete list is there. And with the help of this ChatGPT tool, you can just analyze all these kind of PDF files, that how to analyze, how to implement. And trust me, ChatGPT will give you the complete summary of all this, we can say, kind of guidelines. Similarly, guidelines are also given by RBI. You may check also from RBI. So now the questions comes are that how to implement this cyber security. We have seen the last slides, and it's all about the standards. Okay, how they can do? They can go for this standard. So depending upon the business model, they can adopt this kind of standard. If they're from payment industry, they can go for PCI DSS. If they're from healthcare, they may go for HIPAA. If they're from Europe, they can go for GDPR. Otherwise, they can go for ISO 27001. Depending upon, we can say, the background of the business model, they can adopt the standards. Or in India, we can go for the SEBI, IIDI, or this RBI framework. So now questions comes, what are the main pillars to build this cyber security? Means how a company, how a professional, they can build this kind of pillars for cyber security. In short, how to maintain this C in ABCD model, because we are having a discussion for this ABCD model, ABCD. So now it's about C. So main pillars for this cyber security, it's all about the people, the process, and technology. I will say the cyber, you can say, the main pillars in this particular field is all about the people, it's all about the process, and then it's all about the technology. Now, let me start with the people first. Clear? So basically for people, what we can do? People, we can say for people, first of all, we can go for screening. Now, it can also, we can say, it's a kind of HR policies. Clear? So what we can do for peoples, we can go for, first of all, screening. Before hiring any employee, we can perform their background check verifications. Why? Because, sir and ma'am, it might be possible that your rivalry company, they have deputed, we can say, any kind of employee into your company, so that they can leak all your data. Remember my example about that insider threat? Remember that example, insider threat? So that insider can also leak your data, that insider can access your network, that insider can access your Wi-Fi network, that insider can access, that attach your pen drive, and that insider can copy all your data from your company also. So that's why the screening is required. That's why it is required to check the background verifications. Clear? And then it is also required to maintain the do and don'ts. Means awareness training is required for the complete all the employees, and the same techniques only for employees. It is also for, we can, I will say, for your article, you can say, who you are hiring now. You can, what you can do, you can just tell them that what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do and don'ts. So tell your HR to teach about all this kind of do and don'ts in the, first of all, the particular guideline first, and then also do perform the awareness training. Tell, you can say, this your people that what they are supposed to implement, how they're going to click, download emails, all these things. So awareness training is very important. So these are multiple factors which can we do. And the most important one, please do maintain the NDA. Now what is this NDA? So basically NDA is for non-disclosure agreement. So let me give you this sample also for this NDA. What you can do for this NDA. So sir and ma'am, you can also just make this kind of NDA, and for all your employees, we can say, to whom you are hiring now, just maintain this agreement, non-agreement. And not only for your company, You can also make also you can say tell your clients, you can also just give the consultancy to your clients to maintain this kind of NDAs for their employees. Clear? So basically your NDA should cover all this kind of, we can say, informations which they are not supposed to leak. Why? Because the data is very confidential. Sometimes you have information about your business plans, financial data, you have about trade secrets are also there for your company, client data is there, Excel file is there, your tele file is there, GST is also there. So multiple data is also there. Multiple. So you can do, you may cover all this point in this confidential informations, that we can say the person is not the person can't unveil this information on any kind of platform within the job and even after the job. Clear? The main thing is what for this NDA, that they are not supposed to share the company data while they are in job and after their job, and they are not supposed to post also on social media, because nowadays we can say there are so many teenagers now. What they do, they used to post all this data also on these social media platforms. They are posting on Instagram, they are posting on Twitter, and also on LinkedIn platform. So they are not supposed to post this particular data also on this platform of social media. So in this manner now, what you can do, you can just maintain this kind of NDAs for your employee. Because in our PPT model, what we have seen that in our PPT model, the major factor is all about, we can say, the people. So that's why it is very important for every organization to maintain this kind of things. And apart from this, you can also search for the ISO guidelines. You will find multiple things are there, or you can say good practice are there. But these are the major ones. So go for screening, and always go for this background check verifications. Check do and don'ts. Make sure to train them on this kind of cyber hygiene best practices, and then make sure to sign the NDA. Clear? So in this manner now, what you can do, you can just go and you can protect these people, because in our these three pillars we can see that the people, we can say, are the most important one. So they should be trained, they should be properly skilled, and they should, we can say, having all this kind of information with them. So people are the important one. Second comes the process now. Now here in process now, as a CA professionals, they can also play important role. Now, in fact, in this also they can play important role. Now, what a CA professional can do, you can just tell your clients also for this information, and you can also start, we can say, suggesting for this NDA. You can also start just telling your clients go for this NDA. So this NDA is not only for the clients. Clear? The same NDA is also for third parties. Now, who are the third parties? Third parties means your vendor. Let's say you are using a kind of a tele software, you are using kind of a services, CRM, SCM, or you are having any kind of tech service. Means you are hosting your data on some third party cloud. You are using OneDrive, SkyDrive, any kind of, we can say, apps you are using for data storage. So you may also suggest your clients that they can sign a NDA with all these third parties. This NDA is not only for your clients and employees, it can also, we can say, for all third parties coming into your premises. Those who are accessing your data, the same NDA can be signed with all this kind of third parties, so that data can be well protected. Coming on second point, process. Now what we can do in process. So basically now I'll start with the step-by-step implementation. First of all, make sure to identify the critical assets first, because what we are doing, we are trying to implement this cybersecurity for any business. We are going for these three pillars: pillar for people, process, and technology. So what you can do in process, first of all, identify all the assets first. Now what are these assets? Now assets means what? Which mainly create a kind of value to any organizations. Clear? So what you can do in this assets creation now, it's a format there. You can just check the format. First, maintain a Excel file there. And in this Excel file now, what you can do, just maintain all this field. Means asset ID should be there. All your assets. Now what can be assets in form of IT? Your laptop, your desktop, your mobile phone, your network equipments. Means let's say you're having a router, this switch, this Wi-Fi access point. Clear? Means all, we can say, the kind of hardware devices which you have, which you own into your organization. Just maintain the complete list of this all assets. And not only hardware, also do maintain the list of all the softwares which you're using into your organizations. Software like Tally, this MS Office Pro, whatever you are using now, just maintain a complete list of all, we can say, the assets there. Now give a asset ID, a name there. Then just describe the vendor name, that which kind of asset it is. It's a Dell machine. Let's say example for laptop, it's a Dell laptop, it's a Lenovo laptop, it's a HP laptop. Just write the complete name there, and then write the category. Means that asset belongs to which category. It's a equipment, or it's a software, or it's a we can say a kind of application. Just write the category there, and then location, that where this assets is being stored in your offices. Let's say you are having a big office, so you can just maintain the mention about the location also, that this is the room number 103, 4, whatever it can be. Just write this one, and the important one, the owner name, who owns this device. Let's say in your office you have 10 laptops and you have 20 desktops. So what you can do, you can just mention that this laptop is being used by this person. For example, Mr. Pankaj is there, Mrs. Sneha is there, and Mr. ABC is there. So basically he owns this laptop. Now why this is required? Because we can also maintain a track record that this device was used by which person. So in future, let's say if any fraud occur, any damage occur, we can also track this kind of system, that what file were accessed on this machine, who was the main culprit. Clear? In case of fraud. So what you can do, just maintain a complete list of all the owners there in the same, we can say, Excel file. Then we can also maintain about the status, either it's in use or it's active, or it's, we can say, not active. Just mention the complete list there. If you want to go for cost, you can also go for cost also. Then the purchase date, date of expiry, and basically all the updations. You can just maintain a complete list of the assets there. Although it's a very big list, but because we do have a time constraint, I had to finish this session at before this time, so that's why I'm coming fast. So what you can do, you can just maintain this complete asset list, and then in second step, what you can do, then we can identify the risk, or we can say the kind of a risk management. Now what can be risk? Now what you can do, we can identify the strength and weaknesses in the systems, that either kind of things are there or not, policies are in place or not, the best practices have been followed or not. For example, let's say in laptop they are using Windows 8. So Windows, we can say 8 is not an update version. Clear? So it can be a risk. They are using Windows 10, but they are not gone for the updations. It's a risk. They are not using antivirus. It's a risk. They are not using a licensed software for this particular operations. It's a risk. So in this manner, what we can do, we can identify all the risk there, not only for hardware, also for software. Because as per the cybersecurity, what we say, always update your softwares, always update, we can say, your applications at a interval of time. So what you can do, in this manner, we can just maintain all, we can say, the weakness, and not only weakness, you can also go for strength also. Clear? So just maintain all the kind of risk assessment, so that we can just have a kind of a document there, the same Excel file, that either this was a minimum risk, or this was a tolerable risk, or this was a moderate risk, or it's an extreme risk. Let's say a company having a laptop where all this kind of tally work has been done, but there was no backup plan. Backup plan was there, but in the same office, in the same network, they do have the backup plan. So it can be a risk, because in case of ransomware attack, the backup can also be damaged. So in what we can do, we can just maintain all this asset, and then we can go for this kind of risk assessment. So based on this scale, we can perform the risk assessment depending upon the machines and laptop. And then the major step, we can define the risk tolerance for the business, that what kind of decisions are required and how much investment is required. Because sir and ma'am, we also do require a kind of a tax support. We also required a tax control, because in our PPT model, remember, people, process and technology. Right now we are in this process part, but in our tech part, we required to purchase some kind of firewall and IDS. So we also required to know about the budgets. Clear? So that's why what we can do, we can just identify about the risk tolerance, that what company can risk they can bear, and then we can have this kind of discussion with our management about the budgets also. Clear? And then we can set our goal, that what we are trying to achieve in these organizations, how we can reduce the risk of this data breach, how we can reduce the risk of these insiders, and how we can say we can response a proper, we can say, incident in any case. Let's say in case of disaster, what we can do, in case of backup failure, what we can do, in case of ransomware, what we can do, in case of this server side, what we can do. So basically what we can do, we can set our objective there through this particular objective model. And then comes the important part, where we can say as a professional you can play important role. Sir and ma'am, trust me, you all can just approach to your clients and tell them about the policies and procedure. You can help them in this kind of policy making. You can help them in order to maintain the better environment in the business ecosystem. Now what you can do, you can just make all the policies there. Now which policies? So you can see there a complete list of policies are there. So for data encryption, you may tell them to encrypt your data. Tell them to implement a strong policy for data encryption. Now why we require this policy? Because whatever data you are having in your offices, or whatever data you are having in the cloud also now, please make sure that your data is being encrypted. So how you can be sure? For your company, for your organizations, for your personal use, you may go for data encryption tools. There are so many tools are there. TrueCrypt is there, VeraCrypt is there, BitLocker is also there. BitLocker, you can just go on Google and search for BitLocker. It's a very good tool. So for your company, you may just encrypt your data so that in case of data breach, it can't be misused by the criminal or hacker. Clear? So maintain this policy for data encryption. And one more thing, sometimes what we see that most of us, what we are having a cloud-based services now, means we put our data in the cloud environment. Sir and ma'am, trust me, please first of all make sure that your cloud vendor is having a data encryption policy. What you can do, just just drop an email to your cloud vendor and ask him that your data is secure or not in their cloud premises. Because usually what I have seen that sometimes these cloud vendors, they are not providing the data service for encryptions. They are only storing your data. They do have this policy for encryption, but they are not in your data. Because for data encryption, sometimes they want more money. So make sure your data is safe and your data is secure. Just drop an email to your cloud vendor and confirm it. Similarly, what you can do, you can just perform the assessment for these third parties. Same manner, I told you now. What you can do, you can ask your cloud vendors, ask your hosting vendors where you're hosting all your data, your applications. Means whatever services you are using in your organizations now, please make sure that your vendors are following the cyber best practices. Because it might be possible the leakage cannot be from your side, but from your this third party suppliers. So whatever services you are using, and because you are paying for it, so it's a duty of your that vendor, that supplier, to give you the best service. So what you can do, just ask your third party vendors, these third party suppliers, and tell them that your data is safe or not. You can also sign a NDA with them. Remember, we have seen in that our people now, NDA. You may also sign a NDA with your third party suppliers. You can sign an NDA with your providers, the software provider or the service providers. Whatever you are having services now, you can tell them to sign this NDA with your providers. Third is all about data breach policies. Because we need to protect the data breach. That's why it is required to maintain a policy for data breach prevention. Fourth is all about the password protection policy. Now what you can do basically for these policies, basically you can also maintain a policy that your passwords are going to change at an interval of time. Maintain a complex password. Password should have at least I will say that 10 to 12 characters. Multiple type of symbols should be there. Clear? And it should have this MFA also in your system. And do maintain the password manager. Let's say if you're having multiple passwords now, what you can do, you may go for this kind of tools also are there, known as password manager. So what you can do, you may just go and use these password managers. Clear? So you can also maintain this policy for password protection. Third is all about the access control policy. Now why we require this access control policy? Because it is very important to assign the job roles for any individuals. Let's say for example in any big company, ABCD corporation, they have around 20 employees. So now they should have this access control policy. Means what? Means we can say the person, those who are on the higher level, they can access all this data. But those who are, we can say, on the middle level, they can only the data which are required to be used by them. We can say based on the usage, based on the job role, you can maintain this access control policy. Clear? Then you can also go for this policy for network security. Now, this is very important policy now for network security. Usually, what I have seen in the multiple companies now, what they are having only one Wi-Fi network in the organizations, or they are having only one connection in the organizations. The same Wi-Fi is used by the, we can say, the CEO or the MD, and the same Wi-Fi is used by all, we can say, their employees. Let's say they also have the intern articles. They all are using same Wi-Fi network. Means only one network is there, and the same network is used by all, we can say, the office employees. Sir and ma'am, we can say it's a big threat for your company and for your business. Please do maintain this policy for network security. What you can do, you can segregate your network. How to do it? What you can do is contact your that service provider. Let's say you are having this from this Airtel, Bharti Airtel, or Jio or BSNL. What you can do, just contact your vendor and tell them that please maintain the virtual LANs in our organizations. Please maintain this virtual LAN. The term is known as VLAN, virtual LAN, into your organizations. Means the CEO, MD will have a different network. The employees will have a different network. The interns or articles will have a different network, because it might be possible your backup is also on same network. So let's say, let's assume that somebody click on any website, or if they are going to download any kind of movies from this Telegram, because what I've seen nowadays, the youth mainly what they prefer is to go on Telegram, and then they have to download multiple movies from the, also from Telegrams or from free websites. Sir and ma'am, nothing is free in this cyberspace. Usually I say that if you are not paying for it, you are the product. If you are not paying for it, then you are the product. It might be possible that the free download, that the free version is also having a malicious code, a malware, which can also stuck your machine, which can also damage your machine, or can damage your credentials. So if you are having this virtual LAN now, so in such cases, that malware will not spread. That particular, we can say, malicious code will not spread into your organizations. So what you can do, you can implement this particular policy into your organizations. And what we can do, contact your ISP and tell them to segregate your network. Means tell them to break your network into multiple virtual LANs, and make sure your backup is on different network, because it might be possible in case of ransomware, the backup can also be get infected if machine get infected. So please make sure that your backup is on different network. And the same, this kind of network segregation, this virtual LAN, it can be done by your ISP also. So you can tell your ISP to segregate all this network, because the network is the important aspect, and without internet nobody can work on the internet now. So that's why it is important that we should have this kind of a policy, we should have this segregation in our complete internet architecture. Clear? And you can also implement the same thing also for your clients. Tell them to adopt this virtual LAN, tell them to segregate their network. Means backup on different network, CEO, MD on different network, employees on different network, all should be on different networks, so that it should not be damaged. Next policy is all about risk assessment. Now we have seen in a previous slide now that risk is very important. Risk is very important. So what we can do, we can basically check about all the assets first. What are assets we have, we can verify that what kind of service is required. So we can maintain this risk assessment policies. Clear? Then comes the social media usage policy. Now why I used to focus more on this usage now. Sir and ma'am, nowadays what we see on the social media now, that the employees are posting their meal, photographs of their meal, photographs of their lunch. All these things are being posted on the social media. Sometimes it might be possible that the employee is, we can say, recording any video into your organizations, and it might be possible some kind of confidential data. It also been shared, we can say, by knowingly or unknowingly by your employee. So make sure that if anything is posted on social media, please make sure to verify first. Please make sure to verify first about this kind of social media postage, that what they are posting on the social media. Sometimes it can damage the company repo also. They can damage the company profile also. क्योंकि एक बार हम कहते हैं ना कि एक बार अगर जो हमारी इमेज अगर वो डैमेज होगी ना, दोबारा खड़ी करने में उसको लग जाएंगे सालों. So that's why please make sure what you post on social media, it should be verified, and then it should be posted. So you should also have this kind of policy for social media usage, plus also for the posting also. And then for big clients, I used to always say that go and adopt for this VAPT. Now what is this VAPT? So basically it stands for vulnerability assessment and pen testing. Test your networks, test your servers, also do test your network also. So VAPT is also required. Then comes the backup policies. Now why we require backups? Because in case of ransomware, if you are having a backup now, then only we can say protect against this kind of ransomware attack. Because in case of ransomware attacks, sometimes it is not possible for, we can say, any vendor to recover your data. So in such cases, backup is the best defense. So please do maintain this backup policy, and your backup should be on the different site. Means if you are having office at ABC location, make sure your backup is on different location. Or let's say what you can do, you can segregate your network and just hide your network from the main internet. Means what you can do, you can create this virtual LAN 1, 2, 3, 4, and then make sure that your backup is on different network, this virtual different, we can say, virtual LAN, and make sure that we can say the output ports are being disabled. Because sometimes what we see that the hackers, they can also access your data from remote locations. So make sure that your these ports are being disabled, so that outputs are disabled, so that they can't take your data from your machines. Then what you can do, they can adopt for this anti malwares. Means you can just use any good antiviruses, and then you can protect against this kind of malwares. Updations policies. Sir and ma'am, we required updations na. So our software also required updations. Sometimes we get a kind of, we can say, alert na on mobile phone or machine na, that time to update your machine. Basically what we do, we just click on this remind me later, remind me later, remind me later. It's a very bad practice. Please, we can say, I will say, please update your softwares also, because proper updation is required for every softwares. Why it is required? Because it might be possible that the company has released a new version, company has seen some kind of bug, some kind of error, some kind of, we can say, issue in the previous version. So what they will do, they will go for the new version, they will release the new version. So basically what we can do in such case, we can also update our softwares in such cases. So always do update your softwares. Clear? You can also check your, we can say, updations in your machines. Just open your, we can say, terminal command prompt and then search for the updations. Then how many softwares they require the updations. But please do update, please do maintain this policy regarding software updations. Then comes the USB. Now USB, I always to say, in the case of the fraud or in case of, we can say, attacks, the USBs are the I will say the major threats for any organizations. Mostly pen drive. Sir and ma'am, please do maintain this kind of policy, that we can say, try to avoid using these pen drives into your offices. If you are using a pen drive for any kind of work, I will say, please use the same pen drive only on the single machine. Don't, we can say, reconnect the same pen drive on multiple machines, because multiple types of malwares are there, exe files are there, we can say, these files are there. This will spread only through this USB only, through these USB ports. So please do maintain this policy into your organizations, that try to avoid using pen drives. If you want to use pen drive, I will suggest you that use a pen drive only on single machine or on we can say one or two machines, not more than that. But the best thing is what? Try to avoid using these USB drives. You can see the example of banks. The banks will never allow you to we can say attach a pen drive into the premises. Why? Because the bank is following the RBI guidelines. And as per the guidelines given by the RBI, we can say the banks are not supposed to connect the pen drive on the machines. That's why they should disable the pen drive, this USB port into the machines. So the same also applies for us also, that what we can do, we can also maintain this policy into our organizations, that not to connect a pen drive on the machines. Next is all about the training. As we have seen that also in our people now, we are learning about the PPT model, people, process and technology. So we also seen this people now, the training is required. Please do schedule a kind of a good training to your employees regarding cyber hygiene, regarding cyber awareness, that what they are supposed to do, how they can do, how they can verify either the file is safe or not. Just do perform a kind of a good training, provide them a good training so that they are cyber tech savvy and they are aware. Clear? Then comes about the Wi-Fi usage, about the network segregations and remote sharing. So sometimes what I see basically that we use this AnyDesk or a software like TeamViewer for our we can say day-to-day work. Clear? And you will not believe that a guideline is being issued also by the government, that not to use this kind of remote sharing software. Sir and ma'am, whenever you are using this kind of remote sharing software, please make sure that the connection is being properly closed. Please make sure the connection is closed and the particular person has access only that data which is required to share. So what you can do, you can create two accounts into your machine, in your laptop, in your desktop. Create two accounts. One account is for administrator, second account is we can say for simple user. So whenever you are using your machine for this remote sharing work, what you can do, you may log in for the simple user account. Don't give the complete privilege on the remote sharing. Otherwise, that person can also steal some data during your this TeamViewer or AnyDesk usage. So please make sure to disable this kind of services and ports so that it can use only that data which is required to be used. Then comes next about this BYOD policy. Now, why we require this BYOD policies? Because we also seen our previous slide about this social media usage. Now, first, what is this BYOD? Bring your own device. Because nowadays every employee is having two mobile phones. Sometimes they also have these three mobile phones. They also have this two or three mobile phones, or sometimes they also have a mobile phone. But it is required to maintain this policy, because it might be possible that your network is down. So what they are doing, they are connecting their mobile phone on your laptop and then they are transferring the files. It is also a big risk, because the person can also we can say damage your network, and then they can also steal some data. So it is required to maintain this policy known as BYOD policy into your organizations. Bring your own device policies. So means what? That your employees can access the devices only at a particular interval of time. Especially, I've seen some of my clients, they are from government departments. So basically, what they used to do, they used to not allow any mobile phones during this kind of sensitive work. Means they are supposed to keep their mobile phone into a tray, or we can say a kind of devices there where all our devices have been kept. Why? Because a person can record all the recording activities by putting his mobile phone on his, you can say, front camera. Let's say what they will do, they will put the mobile phone in the front this pocket, and then they can record all the activities there. Whatever you are doing on the machines now, they can record the complete activity with the mobile phone. So it can also be big threat. So that's why uh, please make sure that your employees are not doing this kind of practices during their work. Clear? Then comes the HR policies. So we have seen that this people na screening, then background check verifications, do and don'ts, awareness training, job left policies, and then this NDS. So all these things will going to cover in this HR policy. Clear? So same we can say the people is all about we can say somewhere around this HR policy. Clear? Then the important policy, which is known as email security policy. Now, why we require this policy? Because majorly you will find the major cyber threats and cyber frauds are being done by the email, the ransomware. Clear? Where the attacker will lock your machine. Also done by this, we can say this email as a threat. We can say the spreading of malware done by email. Phishing attack, it is done by email. Spear phishing attack, where just target the individual, done by the email. So basically, what we can do, we can implement these three terms. Right now, actually, I just mentioned this two, one, three are there. The first one is known as SPF. You can just also note down this particular thing. Please make sure that your clients are having this particular thing into their email system. SPF. It mainly stand for Sender Policy Framework. So what you can do, you can just tell them to maintain this SPF record into their server. Sender Policy Framework. Clear? So what it will do basically, this SPF policies and this DKIM DMARC na, they are basically going to protect your kind of, we can say, that email system against the multiple frauds. Means your system will be safe and secure if you are using this SPF and this DKIM policy. Basically, it can be misused by the criminals. So you can just implement this SPF. Second is DKIM, and the third one is DMARC. So implement all these things into your email system. If you are having this kind of emails now, let's say your company name is ABC Corporation. So your website is abc.com. So what you will have? You will have an ID like info@abc.com, or you will have ID like pranay@abc.com, or sales@abc.com. So if you have this kind of IDs now, please make sure that in your this domains you also have this SPF, DKIM, and this DMARC. So basically, in this manner, we can also protect our email system. And from this 1st of February, this coming February now the Google and Yahoo, they are also going to implement this services into their system. So from this 1st of February, now Google and Yahoo, they're also going to adopt the same policy. Right now it is not there. It is only for the paid services, but now it is for all the services. SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. So you can think about the importance of these policies, why we require these policies. And same thing, sir, what you can do now, during your audit work, if you have done your DISA na, or if you're taking your system audits or IT audits, what you can do, you can just check all these things there. Right now what we are doing, we're just learning about how to implement the cybersecurity, and we are just taking about the importance of cybersecurity. Now what you can do to your audit, you can just check all these things, because during your audit work, you are supposed to check all these things. You are supposed to check this process, the people, the tech part. So what you can do, you can just ask your concern, that particular, we can say that client share about your policy for email policy, share your backup policy, share about software updations, how you update your software, tell the updations. For USB, what you can do, tell them to attach a pen drive there on machine. So what you can do, the same tactics you can also use during your audit work, during your system audit or during your IT audits. Same thing you can do also during your audit works. You can check for this, you can say go for check for the NDA, check for NDAs for third parties, check for the passwords, how they protect the password, check for the access control, and ask for them to show their network diagram also, because if they have this virtual LAN or not. So you can do the same things also during your audit. Clear? Because this is the mechanism, this is the flow through which a company can maintain the, we can say, the kind of cyber security ecosystem into their environments. So now coming on the third part, our third pillar, which is all about the technology. What we have seen, we have mainly seen the people, we have seen the process, and now the third part, which is technology. So now why we require the technology there? Because it's the important part, it's the pillar, it's a third pillar among the PPT model. Clear? So now coming on tech part. So now as per this all these guidelines and standard now, what we have seen in the previous slide now, that we have seen this ISO 27001, we have also seen this GDPR, we have seen this PCI DSS, and we also seen this HIPAA. So as per all the standards and guidelines now, basically they also suggest to use this controls for the tech controls. Means a company should have the firewalls, company should have this kind of software and devices into their organizations. Clear? So if you're doing your audit work now, if you're doing your IT audit now, what you can do, you can also check all these hardwares, this kind of devices there. Means you can ask the company to show about the tech control plans. Clear? And while during our implementation, what you can do, you can implement these particular controls into the organizations. So now first one is about firewall. So now why we require the firewall? Because firewall will, we can say, protect your network against the we can say coming from the outside world. Means the threats coming from the outside world, they can be well protected by this firewall system. But please make sure if you're buying a firewall for your network, you can buy network firewall. But let's say if your client is having a kind of business on the online website, means they are doing all their work through a kind of a software, or they are doing a kind of work through a online software. For example, abc.com is there, or any kind of website is there through which they are operating all the operations. So what you can do, tell them to maintain this WAF. It mainly stands for Web Application Firewall. So tell them to implement this WAF for their organizations. Clear? So in this manner, you can protect the, you can say, the software or the applications against the cyber threats. Clear? Then comes the proxies. So if they want, they can also cover the proxy servers to bypass the network. Clear? Third is all about DLP. Now, why we require the DLP? I always suggest in my sessions that always go for these DLP softwares, because DLP mainly stand for data loss prevention. Data loss prevention, and we have seen that our slides now, data breach. A data breach can cause a big impact for every businesses. So now what a business can do, they can also implement these DLP softwares, these DLP devices into their organizations. So this, the name itself now, DLP, data loss preventive softwares or prevention softwares. So what you can do, you can suggest them to implement this DLP software. Now which software? Just go on Google, write the best DLP softwares under your budget, because depending upon the budget also they will vary, and you can search and you can suggest these softwares. Then comes the EDR and XDR tool, because nowadays the threat is all about the insider threats. We have seen the example of that insiders are there, and these insiders can leak multiple data from your company and from your organizations. So how to control this insider fraud, how to control this insider threat? So for that we can use this EDR software. Now the term is EDR, it mainly stands for endpoint detection response tool. So what you can do, you can suggest your clients, let's say if they want to maintain, or if they want to we can say avoid this kind of insider threats, insider frauds. So what you can do, they can go for this EDR tool, they can opt for this EDR tools. So for data loss prevention, for avoiding this data leakage, they can go for this DLP, because DLP will avoid the data leakage. For this endpoint, means for your machine, laptop, systems, they can go for the EDR tool. Clear? Coming on the next, then comes the log and monitoring devices. Now why we require these logging tools? Because if they are following the standards, we can say if they're going for this PCI, or if they're going for the ISO, or if they're going for, we can say, any kind of, we can say, the global standard. Clear? So as per all the this standard now, they always say that your logs should be well maintained, and only for global standard, as per the CB, as per the IIDI, or you can say as per, we can say, kind of RBI also. Now we can say every, we can say as per the organizations now, they always say that do maintain the logs, do maintain the monitoring also. You also see now that I think last year on 1st of April, there was one kind of announcement from MC also, that from MC we got the notice now that the audit trails are required. If you remember, that particular notice was there somewhere from 1st of April 2023 last year, that audit trails are required to be well maintained. Similarly, now for every, we can say, devices, for every kind of network services, we also required to maintain the logs, so that in case of fraud investigation, so that in case of, we can say, forensic investigation, we can check the logs and then we can verify that the fraud was done by which user, or which we can say kind of the threat actor. So it can be easily traced. Clear? So that trail can be maintained. So that's why you can also suggest your clients to maintain certain tools for logging and monitoring. Although nowadays this firewall and this DLP and this EDR na, this kind of tools, they do maintain these logs. So no need to purchase different kind of tools. The same tools, they also do have this kind of features, logging and monitoring. So please make sure, if you are planning to buy this kind of tools, please make sure that they do have this feature for logging and monitoring. Next come is all about the antivirus or anti-malware. Now, usually we always say that to use a good kind of antivirus, always use a good anti-malware. So please make sure that your antivirus or your anti-malware device is being updated. So always use the update version of your antivirus. Always update your antivirus. Why? Because they also require updations. Because on daily basis now, there are so many new threats are there, so many new malwares are there. So basically, your tool now, this anti-malware or antivirus, they also require to update with the new threats. Clear? So you can maintain this kind of a policy that I will say twice a week you are going to update your antivirus. Twice a week you're going to update your this kind of system software also. Clear? The next come the cloud solutions, because now we are moving in the different kind of era where nobody wants to install all these complex devices, EDR, DLP, and all this kind of system. So what they are going to use, they are going to do, they're going to use this cloud-based applications. Means they will go on this Amazon Web Service, or they will go for this Google Cloud, or any kind of this cloud service. Clear? So if you are, we can say, if you are planning to migrate on these platforms now, please make sure that your platform which are going to migrate, they do have this kind of controls also. Because for Amazon, for Google, for this MS Cloud, multiple types of plans are there. So please do check this kind of plans, that either they are having a safety options or not. Because now the data is very important for every, we can say, for every user, for every business. Clear? So please make sure that your third-party vendors should also have this kind of cloud solutions, and your data is being well, we can say, protected. Next come, we can say, is all about the mobile device management softwares, MDM softwares. So now this MDM software, basically there are softwares which can manage all your devices also. If you want to, we can say, suggest your clients, you can tell them to maintain this MDM software, so they can also monitor about the client usage, that how they are, we can say, the client's employees usage, that how they are using, how the employees are using their network or internet. So this MDM software, we can say, nowadays they're quite trending among the big corporates, among the, we can say, the big companies. So they are also monitoring their employee about the usage on social media, what they are posting and how they are posting on behalf of the company. Clear? So you can go for this MDM softwares also. Similarly, you can also assign this endpoint devices, or you can also assign, we can say, this kind of privilege access rights to your, we can say, the applications. You can also go for the source code protection, because source code, we can say, the kind of code software which are there nowadays. So what you can do, you can suggest your clients to check also the source code, because every, we can say, the company, they do have the software. Clear? And nowadays all the entire work is been done by the software also, especially in case of CRM and SCM business, and also, we can say, for the big businesses. So softwares are there, app is there, or we can say platform is there. So now what they can do, basically, they can also check the source code, means the complete source code. So basically for that, they can opt a kind of third-party service from market, or they can also use a kind of tools are also there. So basically for this source code review, what you can do, you can just go on Google and search for the this kind of source code review tool, and then search for the this kind of source code. So make sure that your source code is well protected and it is been well audited. Then we can say this malware. So we already seen that try to use this anti-malware, or we can say try to use this kind of antivirus kind of tools. Then your clock should be well synchronized, because make sure that all your machines should have same timing. Clear? So please make sure that your network, in your network, all the machines should have a same time, a unique time. Then we already covered this network segregation. So please make sure that your network is well segregated, or we can say your network is on different virtual LANs. So it should have VLAN 1, then VLAN 2, then VLAN 3. It should be on different networks, so that your, you can say, company, suppose in case of any kind of cyber threats like malware, ransomware, so this they can't damage your company data. They can't, we can say, damage your company, we can say, kind of a IT ecosystem. So please make sure to segregate your network. Just divide your network into multiple virtual LANs. Clear? And the same task can be done by your, we can say, ISP also. Contact your ISP and tell them to implement this virtual LAN into your organizations. And also make sure that your main public IP is not been exposed. Clear? And your backup should be on different network. Otherwise, it can damage the complete ID system. Then data masking is required. So whenever you are storing any kind of password, it should be well encrypted, it should be well masked. Clear? And then we already seen this DLP, so you can adopt this DLP tools and applications to perform this kind of leakage. And then comes the backup. So backup plays a very important role, because it might be possible that the ransomware can still, we can say, come into your premises, and they can damage your data, and they can lock your machines also. So in such cases, backup is a very, you can say, important kind of aspect which should be implemented. So you can maintain a backup on your disk and tape, or you can go for backup for cloud or any kind of services. I will suggest that always do maintain a physical backup into different kind of hard disk. So what you can do, you can just purchase one external hard disk, and then do maintain a backup on the particular external hard disk also. Clear? So backup, we can say, is a good practice. So maintain this also into your organizations, having a backup on the daily basis. Then comes on the step 6. It's all about the monitor. So we already covered that logging, that it is required to, we can say, maintain the logs. So make sure whatever tools you are having into your organizations, please make sure that the logs are there. Means your firewall, your this WAF, your antivirus, anti-malware, or your DLP software or ADR software, they should have the logs also. Means the log system is there, and they are having a logs for at least for 3 months. Clear? So make sure that logs should be well maintained up to for at least 90 days for 3 months. Clear? Or depending upon, we can say, the kind of guidelines given by the government, sometimes it is required to maintain also for 1 year also. So mainly for financial entities, I think nowadays they have changed that timeline to still I think 9 months it is required to maintain the logs. So please do maintain the logs also into this kind of system for monitoring and analyze. And then finally, we think it's a process. So as we have discussed, that basically it's also required the updations. So do review, perform the regular review, and do check all this, we can say, best practices. Do check about this kind of policies, whatever you are planning to implement into any organizations or also into your organizations. So regularly review and then also update, because we are moving the tech era now. So as sir told also in previous session now, that AI is there, all these tools are there. So sometimes this AI also poses a kind of risk also. So nowadays we also suggest to our clients that do maintain the policy for AI also. Means what? That employees are not supposed to check the source code on the this AI tools. Clear? So depending upon the business model, we can say, depending upon the business needs, and we can say the kind of background the business have, we can maintain this kind of policies also for reviewing and also for updating. So do maintain this kind of review and update work. Clear? Or whenever you are doing any kind of audit, any system audit or IT audit, please make sure to also check about this update policy, because every organization nowadays they have these update policies. So please make sure to ask the particular concerned person to show about the update policy, and then do check about the update, we can say, kind of work either they have done or not. Clear? So do check all these things, all these parameters during your audit work. Clear? So it's all about these 3 pillars are there. So let me summarize my entire, we can say, the whatever we have learned till now, that the people, process, and technology. People means they should be well trained on the do and don'ts. They should be trained, we can say, on the kind of things what are required to be shared or not shared. They should be, we can say, skill are also required. They should know about the cyber hygiene. Plus, do perform the screening, do perform the verifications of past background, and do sign the NDA with them. It is all about, we can say, the people. Or if you want to go for further enhancement, you can also check this kind of a standard such as ISO 27001 and check for the HR controls. You will find multiple things are there, so you can suggest to your clients also in case of people. But I will suggest that the most important thing is what it's all about, the training, and do sign this NDAs, because nowadays what I've seen that multiple cases are there where we can say the employees, or we can say the articles or interns, they are, we can say, posting this data on multiple channels and platforms. So please make sure to sign the NDA with your employees also. Then we have seen about the process. So we have seen the multiple steps in process. Maintain a proper kind of asset inventory. Do maintain an inventory of all the assets, and then each asset should have a kind of ID, and make sure that the asset should have a kind of employee, means who are you going to use this kind of assets. So please make sure that every asset should have an employee assigned, and the complete, we can say, the kind of record should be there in that asset inventory. And then perform the risk assessment depending upon the factors which are there. Clear? So policies are also required to be implemented. So what we can do as a professional, we can also contact our clients and tell them to implement all these policies. Policy regarding, we have seen access control, HR policies, policy for network security, encryption, backup, response. Just maintain all these policies there and process there. And then also do check these policies, means properly you can perform the audits also. So what you can do during your audits, ask your clients to check all these things, to share all these things, and then just solely review all these kind of policies also. Clear? So during your audit work, you can also demand for this kind of policies there. And the same thing you can also do for your clients also. You can also perform the audits, and you can just check all these things which are there in the, you can say, kind of organizations. Then comes the frameworks also, because depending upon the business models, the guidelines are there. If they're from finance background, for them RBI regulations are there. If they're from insurance background, they do have this IIDI guidelines. If they're from different backgrounds, so depending upon the client business model, so we can say that they do have different standards and framework. So what you can do, just download this standard there, and then just perform the thorough, you can say, review of this framework, and then you can check. I will also suggest this kind of improvements. And then the last is about technology T. So do maintain this antivirus, firewall. We have seen updates, testing, and just perform all these controls there. So in this manner, we can create a good cyber security ecosystem, because cyber security, we can say, it's mainly about these three pillars are there, three verticals are there. Although it's very broad field, it will have multiple kind of dimensions are there. We can say multiple things are there. Forensic is a different vertical is there, compliance is a different vertical is there, multiple things are there. But as a professional, we can just start, we can say, our journey in these three pillars, for people, process, and for technology. So in this manner, we can maintain a kind of a good cyber ecosystem into any organizations, or also in our organizations. So PPT is required. And remember now, in India also, last year, we can say, I think on 11th of August, a new, we can say, a kind of act is there, and that act is known as Data Protection Act. So now, as per this kind of act, now we can say the heavy penalties are there on the organizations in case of data breach. So, sir and ma'am, please make sure, please also make aware to your clients that now in India also we have this act, and that act is known as Data Protection Act 2023. So now, as per this kind of act, multiple things are there. Although right now it's in process, but still I will say that please start implementing all these kind of controls, all this tech control, physical control, or all these controls there, because it might be possible that your company data can be breached, and then heavy penalty can be also be being imposed. So penalty is also there, or we can say the heavy penalty is also there. So just try to maintain all this PPT model for the organizations, and then you can just improve their cyber ecosystem clearly. So we can say not only so penalty, but it will give you multiple benefits to the company also. You can see they can prevent against the financial loss, because this data breach and the cyber attacks, it also cause the financial loss. So it is also going to prevent against the multiple type of financial loss. And then it is also going to maintain this business continuity, means their business will not stop, the business will not work. Now, why we required to maintain this continuity? Because in case of cyber attacks, mainly in case of e-commerce website, or we can say the soft companies where they used to run on the only on software. So we can say a kind of a simple cyber attack, it can damage also the company. This you can say a kind of interruption is there, will be there. So maintaining this PPT model, it is also going to implement, we can say, also going to provide this kind of business entity, means they will not stop, and the company will not stop working in the online mode. And it is also going to preserve their reputation trust, because if they are having this kind of system, the client will trust on them, because this company is having all this system, they properly maintain the people, process, and the technology part. So definitely it's going to also increase your reputation and also the trust among the, we can say, the users. Then the compliance. So basically we are going to all these controls now. So definitely we're going to implement these things. So it is going to increase also about the also in the compliance domain. And then we also have this advantage, because we are in the IT world, the tech world, where we can say all the companies, they are fighting each other on the multiple dimensions. So it's, we can say, it's going to give the advantage also in terms of the this cyber ecosystem. Then we also go into customer confidence. Then property, we can say this IP property protection is also there, because you do have this kind of copyright and all these things now. So it is also going to protect us. Then the important thing is all about supply chain, because if you are going to follow all these methods, these PPT methods, then definitely we can say the company can maintain the proper kind of ecosystem, and then it is going to avoid this supply chain, we can say, threats also. So it is going to increase the supply chain security, and that is also going to avoid the operational disruptions because of this contribution work. And then support is also there for innovations, because the technology is all about, we can say, the changing ecosystem. So innovations are also required. We do have the AI, we do have the blockchain, and multiple things are there. So this kind of things also going to boost up in case of innovations also. And the company who are going to ride this technology way, definitely they are going to be in the leader in the innovation supports. And it's all about the long term, we can say, thing which can be there. So I think, I guess, any questions from your side, sir, ma'am? Please let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any questions, any query, please let me know. I think I've taken my this 90 minutes. Any questions, ma'am? Please let me know.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session and so much of great
Thank you.
insights about the data security a chartered
Thank you.
accountant must follow in the practice. This is a very crucial topic. We generally let into the practice and we generally forget how to protect our data. And this general clause C must follow confidentiality. Sir, as of now, there are no questions from any of the participants.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much for the
Okay, ma'am.
wonderful session. And I would like to wind up.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.